We're just about to finish the rebuild, and all that's left to do is to put the case on and the parts and stand back and admire it. I've emptied the water out, but just one more tip is that when you dump empty the boiler by pouring, the water stays in the group. And since we're going to ship this, we want that group to be empty. And also, if you're going to store your machine, let's say you're going to be away for a few months, or if you're going to put it in storage, and you dump the water out of the group, out of the boiler, you need to get this water out of the group. I've got a little pump that I generally use, but the way that this is a really simple, this is just a little tube with a ring on it, or you can get a tube that goes over the outside, and you basically just suck on the tube. That pulls the water out of the group, and you can be sure that you have, at this point, there's the last of the water. It was a very simple little inexpensive device that you just empty the group in that manner. So now you'll see, here's our touched up case. Is that we take the case and we put it on with the back, make sure the back feet are in, back support goes down. We had some minor issues with the case when we took it out of the box, and it looks like we're going to have to, what do you think, Barb? It looks to me like it's a little cockeyed.
Right hand side is bent out.
This side's bent out?
This side is bent out slightly.
Yeah, that was from that crush. Okay, basically you take the case, you can see that we're not quite square.
Stop. Let me look at in your left hand, move your...
You want a straight edge?
It's bent, this section is bent out slightly. You need to pull the top section, top half in.
In?
Mm-hmm. Sorry about if I missed you on the camera.
This is all just confirmation. You don't use any...
It's better?
You don't use any tools or hammers.
When you do that, you want to use kind of a little steady bit of pressure.
It does look better, but...
Still could come in maybe a little bit, but see how the top back fits.
Yeah, this is not going to fit right.
It's still out just a little bit, same area.
Alright, am I moving it the right way?
Mm-hmm. You still have a little bit right here. This section is out. You need to pull this section in.
Pull this section in. Like this.
Yes, not too much.
And you do it little by little. You keep checking. To me, the confirmation looks crooked all the way around. This looks wrong too, but...
You can also put a square on it to see what the top's doing. That's better.
Yeah, this...
It's lining up with the face plate better.
Yeah, this is what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
This front. And this should just drop down without forcing it. And this should drop on without forcing it.
I find sometimes that top cap I have to sort of spin it on.
Yeah, but we got a real screwball.
Kind of a wax out there.
Yeah, okay. These things don't happen if you pack it right, you know, when you're shipping these things around. Okay.
Do you have a square handy?
No, I have that one. You want the little square?
Yeah, the little square is fine. Okay, you're at a square. The whole face. Well, this face needs to go that direction. Do you want to trade?
Yeah. This is. We probably should have done this before we touched it up.
Well, probably.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can see that when you put the square on it. You see how? Yeah.
You can see how it's out there.
Okay. Now what's your plan?
Check the bottom first. Bottom's not bad. Bottom's pretty square, so it's all in the top. See? It's a little, but not much. So the
Okay.
vast majority of it is at the top, which is where it usually is.
Yeah. Well, due to the way the front piece was turned back. Yeah, Barb is a geometry specialist here. Oh, yeah. It's pretty stout, these old cases.
God, that's no kidding.
Well, that definitely is a lot squarer there. That one's not.
Will be.
So,
Still off a little too far.
in, it looks like. Boy, I hate it when this kind of conformational damage takes place. See how that looks. Basically, yeah, you drop the back bracket in. Okay, the front gaps don't look too bad. Oh yeah, that's much better. It's not. Okay, let's see how it looks. We basically want to have still a little spread there. I don't know how much more you're going to be able to
A
get.
certain amount of it, there's not much you can do about because there's nothing that ties the front corners together.
Right.
You can bring them in. I can bring them in. Let's try that.
Just squeeze it. Squeeze them both in. You're pushing both of them in.
You don't want to do that too far because
Yeah,
what you have
because
to do
that-
is you have to spread them to to get them back
Oh
on.
yeah, that looks much better up in this corner. This is a real critical spot. Yeah, that looks much nicer in the corner. Let's see how that looks. How's our corners? All right,
You must always have this little space on one
corner's
side or the
tight.
other.
There's
not
a
much
space
you
on
can
the
do about
top,
that.
but that's just the way it is. Okay. Here's our little finger wrench. Basically just get it down tight. Yeah, well that looks much better. This one goes on.
Haha, you did all the work and I get to do the
Yeah, you
finish.
get to finish. Well, that last one, bending the case back into shape is always one of those things that just unnerves me. Okay, let's take it over here. We get a nice sparkly area. And
Got one more thing to do.
one more thing to do. Okay. There's the filter baskets. I don't know what happened to those original that original manual. But at this point, what we're going to do is
There's a little bit of lube that got on the case. Fingerprints.
And this is the nice point. I think that if you estimate how long such a job would take, I always think of it as it takes about an hour to take it apart, about an hour to clean everything up, and give yourself about 2 hours to put it back together over about a 3-day period of time. We've had quite a few digressions and delays in this one, but then at the same time it's been well worth it, because it's really is a beautiful machine. That orange is just spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the big finale of a long process. If you've stayed with it through the whole time, I hope there's been some little tidbits that have helped you in taking care of your machine, or giving you the courage to push that button on an eBay machine. That, why don't you spin it around and give a little there, if you get something plenty. Because from what we can tell, and what you have seen, it's everything is fixable,
now.
and it's a working machine. And I bet the owner of this is going to be really happy to get it. So
I think so.
yeah, I think so too. So I think she's going to be quite pleased with the way it worked out. After all, we are. So we'll be signing off. There it is, 1976 Olympia Cremina, from box to finish. Thank you very much. I hope this